Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. David here. Hopefully you all are doing well. Hopefully you all are having a great week so far. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about fragrances that are love at first sniffs for me. I had to leave a lot out of here because I wanted to give you some fragrances I haven't really talked about on the channel much. Kind of like the Strong With You, I haven't really talked about that at all. Silver Blue, I think I've talked about once. Got a sample here I haven't really talked about. And it was really hard between Parfums de Marly. I really enjoy their fresher scents and their heavier scents. And I was going to put Hautaine in here or Altair, but I really wanted to go with a freshie since I already had two heavier scents in this list with the Mancera here and the Strong With You, absolutely. So I just want to give a shout out to, those two scents that I mentioned. Those are great scents. Those were love at first scent for me, per se, from the brand. And then also, too, I could have made this pretty plain and simple and straightforward for my Holy Grail list, but I wanted to give some variety, like shout out to Dior Sauvage Elixir. That was a love at first sniff for me. That's a go-to. Same with Fahrenheit. Le Parfum, that was a go-to for me as well. And, I could keep going on and on and on about all the other scents I left out, but I just wanted to change it up a little bit for you all. Dive deeper in my collection, if that makes sense, and also talk about a sample I've been recently wearing, a new niche brand I've been really getting my nose into, I guess you could say. Bought a few samples from them, but if you enjoy fragrance content such as list, reviews, or also just plain and simple, challenges like fragrance challenges, make sure to check out the rest of my channel after you're done watching this video. And then also too, if you want to be included in the next Q&A, which is going to be coming up very, very soon on the channel for the month of September, the flavor of the month and the Q&A, make sure to check out the community tab where I post questions that you can answer, and I'll make sure to answer those questions as best to my ability, I guess you could say, and I'll give you a little shout out in the video as well if you're interested in that. Really love answering questions from the community for sure. Now, let's hop into this fragrance video. So first scent we're going to be talking about on this list is from the House of Parfums de Marly. Probably top 5 niche houses for me, plain and simple. I usually really love all of their fragrances that they put out, at least on the men's side, fresh and in fall and wintertime type scents usually. There's a few I'm kind of iffy about, so, but my favorite freshie, plain and simple, is Percival here. This one's got that Abercrombie & Fitch DNA. It's just more well defined with better oils, better blend, I would say. And also it's going to remind you of Legend a little bit from Mont Blanc. Man, this is just a stunner for me. Plain and simple, I got multiple backup bottles of this. This is my favorite freshie from the brand, I'm gonna say. And I know it's not something hyper unique, but man, I really enjoy how this works. This DNA works perfectly, mass appeal. You're gonna get compliments if you spray it correctly in the right situations. This is a signature scent here. And Parfums de Marly does this DNA very nicely. I say if you want a higher quality Legend or Abercrombie Fitch Fierce type of DNA scent, get this one right here. Lavender, citrus, got some woods in here as well, fresh spice. And I get a lot of that lavender in this, but this DNA just never gets old to me. I would say longevity about 8 to 9 hours off the skin. Projection about 2 feet, I would say. This is just basically, it's a great way to get yourself into niche fragrances looking at Parfums de Marly, and especially if you smelled Legend and you have smelled that Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce DNA, this one would be great to start out your niche journey if you had to. This brand, and then also Mancera. We're gonna hop into Mancera in a second. But these two brands are very friendly, I would say. Some of the Manceras, though, you have to be careful with, and that's the same with the Parfums de Marly. There's a few, but a lot of the scents, a lot of their offerings are going to be those easier niche scents to get into, in my opinion, I would say. Plain and simple, at least the ones that I have, and I would recommend to people. I feel like are great for people beginning their fragrance journey. Now, going back to this one a little bit, it's just clean, long-lasting, fresh, and that's what I'm looking for from a fresher fragrance to wear in that spring and summertime. And you can wear this in the winter and fall. It's gonna do just fine. It's going to do well, but it's going to shine in that spring and summertime. And you know, I'll make a Parfums de Marly, you know, tier list for you all, like a top 10 for me, how many Parfums de Marly fragrances. But this one, you know, you talk about green, we talk about Sedley, I really enjoyed those. And then you got the new one, Perseus, as well. I enjoy that one as well, but this one's the top tier for me as of now with the Parfums de Marly line. And then Galloway, I like Galloway too. I like Galloway too. So enough about Parfums de Marly and all their scents, but this one here is what I'm gonna go with, Love at First Sniff. Right when I sprayed it on, I knew I had to get a bottle. So next one I'm gonna be talking about, and this is one I have not really talked about on the channel much, and this is from the house of Giorgio Armani, and it is Strong Growth You absolutely here. At one time, this was kind of hard to get for people in the US. It's kind of becoming more readily available, as I've seen, I would say. You know, when you talk about the Strong Growth You line, a lot of people are talking about Strong Growth You Intensely, or maybe the exclusives, I would say, or maybe the original. I do see this one talked about, but I feel like out of the whole line, Intensely gets talked about the most, and then maybe a few of the exclusives, and then this one. But this one's woody balsamic, got a little boozy aspect to it, a little rum in here, I would say, aromatic, spice, nutty. And this is gonna remind some people of that Azzaro Most Wanted, but this came first. This DNA came first. Azzaro kind of, you know, took this and did their own thing with it, which I really enjoy that scent too. I really enjoy that line too, but I really enjoy this line as well. I don't talk about it much on the channel. Just haven't had a video to bring it up, and I wanted to bring it up in this one because this one is a little bit more reined back. This one's gonna be for the people that like that good, about 2.5 feet projection during the whole lifespan. This one's gonna last you about 8 to 9 hours, even maybe 10 hours, I would say, off skin. And it's just a very appealing scent. I would say if you want something that's gonna be very beast mode, a lot of people are gonna smell it, then I would go with the Intensely. Intensely is gonna be more of a holiday type of feel to it. This one's got the boozy aspect to kind of not make it as like kind of, when I think of holidays, I think of that one compared to this one. This one's more of a kind of a alluring date night type of scent, I would say, but it's got good enough projection that you can wear it, you know, if you go out or something like that. Getting into the notes of this one here, basically it's rum, you got LME, you got bergamot, you got lavender, you got Divana, and then you got some cedar, patchouli, and chestnut in this scent here. And overall, like I mentioned, there's a lot in the line. This one's probably my favorite in the line next to Strong Growth You Tobacco. I really enjoy that one as well, those two. Strong Growth You Tobacco actually came out this year, but this is sweet and smooth. It's very mass appealing, I would say. I don't see a lot of people getting offended by this scent here, unless you don't like your sweet gourmands, you know, the chestnut, maybe the boozy aspect might turn some people away. But overall, this one's it's masculine, and it's kind of unique in the sense when it first came out. There wasn't really anything like this, and a lot of fragrances have copied the Strong Growth You DNA, as you could tell. Like prime example, the Azzaro kind of made it into their own. The Strong Growth You was kind of the first thing to like push it forward to make it kind of popular. So that is something, if you want a very good beginner gourmand, I would say look at the Strong Growth You line, that chestnut, that sweetness in it, and I would probably start with the OG if I was you as well. So yeah, Strong Growth You, absolutely, next one on this list. And now we're going to be hopping into the sample here, and this fragrance house, this niche house, is really climbing my tiers of niche house, and it is by Cypress Budapest, and it is Endless Sea here. And man, this one really blew me away. I know you can't probably see the sample here, but this one blew me away here. Citrus, smells like the sea. Smells like if you went out, walked the beach, you dived in the water, and you were in some like sea. That's what it smells like here, you know. Very impressed when I first sprayed this on. This is, like I mentioned, it's Love at First Sniff. When you first spray it on, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to get a bottle of it. And I just recently got some other scents from them, like samples here. I got Soho, I got a Dominance, and then I think it's like Cosmes Smash or something like that. And man, I have enjoyed all my wearings of those 4 scents here, but I really want to highlight this one: citrus, woods, marine, aromatic, earthy, mossy as well. Got a little salt in the base here, kind of on the feel of it, I would say. A little salty aspect, but it's salty and sweet, I would say. A little sweetness in here for me. It's got some C notes: moss, lemon, bergamot, musk, amber, sandalwood, patchouli. And then it's also got some cypriol oil as well. And you know, I've really noticed I've worn some Burberry scents. The Eau de Parfum, I think I got a sample of that one. And I've noticed I'm really liking that cypriol oil note. It's kind of interesting here. But this one is just overall, like, best way I can describe it is you're walking into that sea and you're like straight up in the water, and maybe you throw, like, maybe let's just say you're kind of at the edge of the water, but you're still in the water, and you kind of have something like sweet. You're getting the smell of the sweetness from that, and then you got the sea with the salty aspect and the, you know, sea kind of smell, I would say. And it's kind of reminiscent to, I haven't smelled this fragrance, but Mega Mare, I have a sample of that and I haven't gave it a wear yet, but it's kind of similar to that scent here. But this one kind of goes like with a little direction with that sweetness a little bit, kind of what I mentioned before. The performance for me was very good. I would say off my skin, I got about 9 hours, 10 hours projection, about 2 feet through that first 3 hours. I would say this thing was beast mode. All of the fragrances from this brand they're very beast mode-esque fragrances, and I've been really enjoying my wearings of all of it. And Endless Sea really kind of blew my mind when I sprayed it on. I know there's some things that smell similar to this, like I mentioned Mega Mare. I'll have to smell that one out from Otto Parisi, but this was the first one I've smelled kind of with that DNA, and it's really good, really good. So, but yeah, if you want something kind of with a little sweetness, smelling like the ocean, a little salty feel to it, just like a fresh kind of seawater with some sweetness in it, with good performance, good longevity, check this one out. Get a sample of it for yourself. Check out this brand as well. The fragrances I smelled so far, definitely want to get more samples, but the ones I smelled so far, very impressed. And now, last but not least, and again, this is a top 5 niche brand for me too, and it is from the House of Mancera, and it is Silver Blue here. And I got the old twist cap here, and I was very surprised by this one. I've talked about this one before on the channel. I don't know if she's subscribed. I haven't seen her for a long time on the channel, but I think her name was Kara. I've seen her on another channel as well, but she gave me this recommendation, and man, this thing is killer. This is just right up my alley. And you know, it's really hard for Mancera's because I really enjoy a lot of their scents. I have a lot in the collection. Can't wait to get more. I just got Amberful and Eternal Wood. Just picked those up. Definitely gonna give y'all a review on those too. But Mancera here: Silver Blue, Amber, Woody, Caramel, Warm Spice, Earthy, Patchouli, Sweet. And this is a stunner for me. When I smelled it, that caramel note really resonated with me, and I was like, man, this is what a caramel note should smell like. Spices: bergamot top, caramel, amber, labdanum, amber, precious woods, oak moss, and patchouli in that base. And when I sprayed this on, I was like, and this was during like the fall time, so this was when I was still in school, like fall, like I would say like mid-fall, I would say. And I was just like, man, this is what I've been looking for. Hit the mood perfect. Performance was there. I would say I got about 8 to 9 hours. I know a lot of these have getting 8 to 9 hours, but excellent performance. I would say the projection off this one is about throughout that start, so that opening, which lasts, you know, a good amount of time, 30 minutes to an hour. I would say I get about 2 feet. And then after that, I would say 1.5 feet to 2 feet, varies, I would say, off body heat, body chemistry, and all that stuff. But this scent here was really, it's a caramel bomb, I would say. It's something that you gotta like your sweet, you gotta like your amber, but that patchouli at the base kind of rounds it out to make it very well rounded, I would say. And overall, I enjoyed this wearings, and you know, it gives some people, about one of my holy grail fragrance is, it gives some people It reminds him of Penhaligon's The Blazing Mr. Sam, which I could have put that one in this list too. That was Love at First Sniff too. I know I keep talking about this, but this one has a little reminiscence of that, and I could see where they're coming from. They're not one-to-one, I would say. The Blazing Mr. Sam's are more spicy. This is going to be more on the sweet side of things here. And man, this is just an underrated fragrance from the House of Mancera. And again, Kara, if you watch my videos, I appreciate you giving me this recommendation. And it is just, it's got some earthiness to bounce out that sweetness. And it's just also too something that you don't see much in basically the fragrance realm. It's kind of unique in a sense, with that earthiness and the sweetness kind of combining, coming together. And it's also just basically, it's a delicious gourmand, you know, at the end of the day. That's all I'm trying to say, delicious gourmand. It's warm, it kind of is a fragrance that's cozy too as well. Definitely fall and winter time. I haven't tried it in the summer and spring, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, Silver Blue from the House of Mancera, the wrap off this list. Let me know all of your fragrances that you have smelled or something you smelled recently. Just go ahead and list them in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear Love at First Sniff, so something you smelled at first. Very interested to hear that. And thank you for sticking around with me throughout this whole video. Appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.